Excuse me. Hey guys, what a way to start us off. Hang on just a second here. There's something missing that I think that we need for today's live stream. Hang on here just a second. Figure this is something that I'll keep around and whip out whenever we do these live streams, just for nostalgia's sake. Hey, what's up? All right. Zero.EXE is here, which is kind of a fitting name considering the Roll.EXE. Hopefully, one of you guys can explain to me, just because I'm not really never played Mega Man a lot, or Rockman if you prefer. I guess Mega Man, since I'm speaking English. All of you guys undoubtedly are probably English speakers, and you probably know the game as Mega Man and not Rockman. But for anybody who does prefer the Japanese title, I guess, anyway. But what's with the EXE on there? What is that for? I'm guessing like something with the Japanese title up here, though, is Rockman Roll.EXE, which I'm guessing this is the EXE. But I don't know. Can someone explain what that is all about? I don't know. Anyway, so which one should we build first? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments there. What are you guys most excited to see? Or what do you want to see first or last? Happy, what day is it? Thursday, by the way. And I was thinking about, just in case, well, a couple things. Number one, Christian said the left one. That'd be the Strato Hound. So you're interested in seeing the Strato Hound first? Christian has spoken first. So that's what it'll be. And it seems like there's more people interested in seeing Roll. So maybe we'll save that one for later, and we'll build the Strato Hound first. From Megaman Battle Network series. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't really necessarily clear it up too much for me. I don't really know what the Battle Network series is, but okay. Battle Networks, was it like a animated series? I was not aware that there was an animated series. Sorry, Tuck. Christian has spoken. Tuck wanted Roll first, but looks like it's gonna be Strato Hound first. Yeah, this one should be cool. Have you guys seen my review already of the first one? The now I was about to say like Roll Hound. Now I've got like a Roll kit on the mind, not the Strato Hound. But the well, why am I suddenly drawing a blank? What was the first one called? What was it? Something Hound? Why can't I suddenly think of it? I don't know. Let's see. Crypte. I don't know. Anyway, the first one from the line. Anyway, let's get into it here, and we'll talk some more about the kit. There we go. Hey, Jim, what's going on, my man? Galehound, yeah, there you go. Thank you. The Galehound, yeah. Have you seen the review of the Galehound? What'd you think about it? Have you picked it up? Or have you picked up this kit, or are you planning to pick up this kit? What do you think about the series in general? On my review of the Galehound, on something like that, when it's like a new kit or a new line or something like that, usually I can get a good sense, like from the comments and stuff on the video, like what people like kind of general consensus is on the kits. But as I can remember, there wasn't a whole lot of feedback in the comments on the review of the Galehound, whether you guys were like into the designs or into the series, or like excited about the series or not. So I'm not really sure. Are you guys hyped on the Titanomachia series, or not that much? I don't know. Let me know. Jim said the Roll kit, is she more or less the same size as the Kodo Mega Man and Zero kits? I don't know, Jim. This is the first Mega Man Kotobuki kit that I've built, so I would assume yes. But I can tell just from the parts, it's going to be like pretty small. So like probably similar to like a Megami device size is kind of the sense that I get. Not very big. And assuming that the Mega Man kits are similar in size, then yeah. I don't think they're too much bigger than that. Anyone know what they're doing with the Hound series? With this series, That series could do a good anime. Yeah, I don't know. There is some backstory, and in the Galehound kit as well. There's some like world and story explanation here. Obviously, it's not from any existing anime or manga or game or anything like that. But there is some story in here. I haven't actually translated it to read about it. But I did notice that, interestingly, here on the front, there's a couple of things to point out on the cover art here. Number one, she's standing on this highway, which is obviously in the American West, because here in like the background behind her, you can see it says Route 66, and you can kind of see like a tabletop mesa kind of there in the background, some familiar rock formations. But also up here, there's dragons in the sky, which I know that Naoki has made some of these. And if you look over here, as I mentioned, something about the Clockwork Cryptid. There's a series of like little candy toys that Naoki has been coming out with that are, I guess, like a part of this series that are called like Clockwork Cryptid things. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with the dragons in this series. It's kind of an odd combination because, I mean, normally you don't really have this kind of like futuristic mecha look. And dragons, usually when I think of dragons, I'm thinking more of like kind of fantasy kind of style, less sort of like futuristic sci-fi like this. I don't know. So it's kind of an odd combination, but interesting. The roll kit is produced by Koto. Yeah. Yes, Jim. Mm-hmm. Both kits are new kits from Koto that Kotobukiya sent to me to share with you guys. So thank you to Kotobukiya as always. Aside from that, as I mentioned before, they did also send the Gojulas kit, which is kind of hard to pick up because it has like an outer sleeve on the box. So if I like try to pick it up, it's just gonna pull the sleeve up. But yes, the new Marking Plus version of the Gojulas. I have not started on that kit yet, but we'll probably start working on that next week. The Strato is designed by Naoki. Jeez. Dude. Yeah. This series, the Titanomachia series, is all Naoki's designs. He's in charge of that. And I've talked about this a little bit before. I think I talked about it during the no, not series. Okay, Siri. All right. Thank you. Anyway, let's get to building and we'll chat some more about it. But yeah, in the review of the Galehound, I think I talked a little bit about in my brief encounter with Naoki at the 2019 Shizuoka Hobby Show. I met him there, and he at that show was the reveal of this series. That was the first time that this series actually appeared. So I think he had like, if I remember correctly, there was prototypes of these two kits, and then also of a couple of the mecha from the series. But then like nothing happened with the series until like just this year, we finally got the first two kits out in the line, and then the mecha kits are still not even out yet. Those are coming out, I think, from Max Factory, I think later this year. But yeah, at the time in 2019, when I met him there and we talked a little bit about these kits. Yeah, he said that the character kits were going to be coming out from Kotobukiya, and the mecha kits, I thought, if I remember correctly, he said at the time that the mecha kits were going to be coming out from Aoshima. I thought. I could be just remembering wrong, but I thought that's what he said. And then, considering how long it took for the kits to actually come out, I do kind of wonder if maybe they were supposed to come out from Aoshima, but something, I don't know, they couldn't come to an agreement on something for whatever reason, and maybe that's just what caused the delay. And then he had to kind of work something out, and then try to work out something with Max for Max Factory or Good Smile Company, basically to produce them instead or something. So I don't know exactly the details of what happened, but I know this series was a long time coming before it actually, and I'm sure Naoki was working on the series long before that too. But yeah, 2019 was the first time that they were actually shown, and then it took to this year for the kits to be coming out. Yeah, it was a long time ago, exactly. So very mysterious. I don't know, but a couple of things too that after building the Gale Hound kind of made me realize how small these kits are. The kit's pretty smaller than you might expect. And the other thing is that the heads in particular, because a lot of times like anime style like character heads are like a little bit larger. These ones are more sort of like realistic, I guess, and even to the point that the kids might even be like somewhat smaller. The heads might be like somewhat smaller, like proportionally, but the heads in particular are not as big as they usually are if you're used to building like again like different similar kits from Kotobukiya, like Megami Device or even like the Sosai Shoujo Teien kits or Frame Arms Girl or whatever. I don't think in the review of the Gale Hound, I don't think I showed any like side-by-side comparisons, but that would be a good idea to do. So I'll try to do that in the review of this kit. But actually, on that note, I wasn't actually planning on doing a kind of typical review of this kit. I was going to do something kind of a little bit different. So here's our two head options here. And so yeah, as you can see, they're pretty small. The kits are, I'm not sure if they are labeled. Yeah, they are labeled 1/12 scale, which is the Megami Device kits are technically 1:1 scale or non-scale. But the Megami Device kits are about 1/12 scale, realistically too. No, they're not They're not as small as Hexagear kits. No, not at all. 1/12. Hexagear kits are 1/24 scale. Those are really small. These are not anywhere near that small, but as you can see, the heads are not very big. Do I have a Megami Device kit nearby? Well, no, but I do have this. A Sosai Shoujo Teien kit, which these are also 1/12 scale, I believe. And just for comparison, and here you can see quite the difference. And the kits are technically the same scale, but not that close. Okay. Moving on. Do they scale well with the Cheeto Serum kits? I'd have to check. I have that. I've only built the one Cheeto Serum kit so far, the one that I just reviewed recently, the Carbonia Graphites kit. I could show you a comparison, but I have that put away at the moment. It's not like right here easily. I can't easily grab it, but I would say, yeah, probably pretty similar to that. Again, the head's smaller, definitely, but in terms of just like the overall size and like body, if you wanted to like kit bash some of the parts, like give some of the like weapons from one kit to another, I think they probably would work. Yeah, I would say. The head type proportion wise, the Hexagear characters have a small face when compared to the frame arms hands. Yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, just like how the Hexagear kits are meant to be a little bit more kind of like realistic proportionally, less like kind of anime character style with the bigger head, bigger face. Same thing like with these, yeah, compared to like Megami Device or Frame Arms Girl, whatever. Yes, exactly. Okay, so the torso is up next here. As you can see, we do have quite a lot of little parts. What am I looking for? Here we go. I thought I was looking for a black piece because most everything's black, but actually the skin tone color piece here, and then let's see. Oh, the other skin tone piece. So like this, no, like that. No, need the other one. This one here, and not that one. That one, there we go. That's for that side. And it's gonna go here. Okay. So anyway, I feel like they could have a cool vibe together potentially. Yeah, the Cheeto Serum kits and this kit. Yeah, definitely. Depends on which one. I mean, the Cheeto Serum kits all kind of have like a sort of similar theme to it, but kind of maybe Depends on which one in particular you wanted to pair with this one. Some might look better than others, but yeah, it could definitely work. Let's see. All right. Yeah, and if you guys do have, like I said, just because I'm not quite sure what the general consensus is quite yet on these kits in terms of what you guys think of them. So let me know, and also let me know if you guys do have other specific questions. I mean, if it's something that I can answer now, or it's something that I can also try to remember to bring up in the review as well. So like, yeah, that's one thing that, as I mentioned, I want to try to do is show a couple more comparisons in the review of this one, size comparisons, just so you guys can get a good sense of that aspect of these kits. But any other questions that you have generally about this kit in particular, or the Titanomachia series, can try to answer those for you guys. Next year, Armored Core Collector, eating good, can't wait. We'll get the next, can't wait what we'll get the next few years. Yes, yeah, you're right. There is going to be quite a lot of Armored Core stuff. Still don't really get why both companies like Bandai and Kotobukiya, neither of the companies really were very quick to try to push out their Armored Core kits like closer to when the game actually came out. Now the game, it's been like what, a year and a half or something since the game came out. Don't know why they didn't try to get the kits out earlier, but yes, better late than never, right? And yeah, definitely the Bandai, the 30 minutes missions crossover kits, just in terms of like how popular the kits have been in terms of like pre-sale numbers, they've definitely been doing quite well. So I think, yeah, those will definitely be popular. But again, just imagine how much more popular maybe they could have been had they come out, earlier, closer to the release day of the game. Don't know. It's hard to say, but you have to imagine that definitely would have helped when the game was like front and center in people's minds. But there's a lot of hardcore Armored Core fans that are going to be hyped no matter what, I'm sure. All right, so. Interesting. Where's the piece for the chest? There it is. So pumped for a 30-minute fantasy. Yeah, those are going to be interesting. Bandai has the advantage because Namco was the publisher. Yeah, I know, exactly. That's exactly right. Imagine, yes. Yeah, you would. It's not like the release of the game was a surprise to Bandai. They had plenty of time to plan that, and like the 30 minutes missions line, it's not like the 30 minutes missions line was like brand new or like just kicking off at the time too. It had been around for a while and it's pretty established. So you'd think that if they had the idea to make some Armored Core 30 minutes missions crossover kits, that's something they could have been planning for quite a while before the game came out. But most Armored Core games have a second expansion style sequel, so I assume that the kit release is sort of something. Yeah, that could be true. That's a really good point. Yep, fair point. Yeah, I don't know if that is going to be the case, but that is a pretty safe assumption, yes. Pretty nice build here so far, too. One thing that was definitely true with the Gale Hound, which is proving to be true with this one as well. It's just that these kits have a ton of detail on them. Let's see, this one's going in there first. Then here. Okay. And then here. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And let's see. This one's going to be kind of tricky. A lot of little parts. It's going to be fun to paint. Just as if you did want to get kind of, because there's a lot of part separation, although like with the kit, pretty much everything is black. So I mean, like, you're not getting a whole lot of like different colors with the kit itself. But if you're planning on painting the kit, there's a lot of opportunity for customizing it with some cool paint schemes. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. There we go. But what kind of paint scheme would you go with is the question. It's the question that's on my mind. So I'm not too sure, but here's our torso there so far. This series will make some great diorama. Yeah, absolutely, that could work too. Supposedly there would be another game in 2 years, the newest Reawakener. Yeah, right. Yep. All right. So we've got our spare head. Put that to the side for now. We've got our waist section here. Then still. Okay. Oh no. Caught it. This tiny little ball here for the hip section. Speaking of tiny little parts too, one thing, well, a couple things that I've been working on today earlier before this. First thing in the morning, I was working on the MG narrative Gundam. Was thinking to maybe live build that tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be ready. There's a lot of parts, so that's what just reminded me of that. It has a lot of little parts too, and a lot of optional parts, like because depending on how you want to build it, there's a lot of options there. It just means that it's a lot of parts to prepare for me. So the kit's probably going to take a little longer than I expected to be ready. So probably not going to be ready in time for a live stream tomorrow. It's probably going to have to wait until Tuesday. Is that not right? Is there a particular way that goes in there? I guess so. On the opposite side, from lots of little parts, lots of big parts, the other thing that I was working on today was the review for the Destroy Gundam. So if you guys saw, or maybe you saw, or you tuned in, or maybe you missed it, but yesterday I did a live build of the HG Destroy Gundam, and today I did the review for that. So I have that just about finished editing, and I'll finish editing that and then post that, and that'll be able, you guys will be able to check out that review this evening. The HG Destroy Gundam. Very big kit, very cool. It said that the offline narrative parts also fit the MG Unicorn. Do you think you can also test this? Yeah, I mean, I know that they will work because those runners are marked for the Unicorn Gundam. Those runners were from the Unicorn Gundam, actually. So yeah, they're from that kit. There is a new runner for like the new clear pink cycle frame parts, but even those can be used with the original MG Unicorn Gundam. So yeah, any of the cycle frame parts, unless it's a cycle frame part that's specifically made to fit only on the narrative Gundam, which I'm trying to think, were there? If there were any, there were not very many of those. So just trying to think back to the runner. Obviously, I'll have a better idea once I actually build the kit, but I just so far have all the parts all cut out and everything. And yeah, any of the cycle frame parts that you have in the box with the narrative Gundam should work on the Unicorn MG. Again, so long as they're not specific to the narrative. Okay. So we're supposed to be building the arms next. I'm just kind of skipping ahead to the legs here. A nice little added new feature here for this that the Gale Hound didn't have. Let me show you here in just a second. Just now noticing this. It's kind of cool. Okay. Put this part in, and then I'll show you what I mean. Uh-huh. And that there. So, well, hang on, a couple more pieces to add, and then I can show you. Wait, this one. And where is it? Should be a little black piece in it. I thought so. Where is it? Part D. So yeah, it should be a little black rectangle. I'll borrow the one from the other leg for the time being until I can find that one. But yeah, if you guys remember on the Gale Hound kit, zoom in to show you this here, kind of cool. So on the front of the thigh, this part on the Gale Hound kit, basically, so when you're doing your leg articulation to move the leg up, this part you could remove it, take it off, and then put it back on into like a lower position so that you could like have a increased upward leg articulation. But with this one, this part is now a sliding gimmick. So rather than having to remove this part and reattach it, you can just slide this part, which is definitely nicer. You don't have to actually remove and replace any parts or anything. Just an actual moving piece is cool. I like that. Nice addition there. Okay. Phew. But it is cool. Christian, to answer your question about the Seed Freedom movie, no, I didn't watch it. I know a lot of people did, though. Yeah, we were talking about that on the stream yesterday. I guess it's been in the movie theaters this week, but I didn't get the chance to see it. I don't know if it's still available, but either way, don't think I'll have the opportunity. Hopefully, maybe at some point in the future. I don't know, maybe if Bandai has said anything about this. Considering it's playing at the theater now, they probably haven't mentioned anything about it quite yet. But it would be cool if in the future, maybe they'll have it available on like Gundam Info or something to be able to watch on their YouTube channel. Would be cool. They probably don't want to do that right now while it's in theaters because they want people to go to the theater to watch it. Maybe, but then again, they probably don't care like too terribly much about like US theater sales. And I think like Japan theater sales is probably where they were obviously really paying a lot more attention to it. US is just kind of secondary. I would assume they probably already kind of chalked up the US theater sales to a certain amount that it'd be enough that they're happy with, but it's not obviously not going to be anything close to what the movie did in Japan. Anyway, what about it? I don't know. As a Sea Destiny fan, it's okay. Well, there you go. Interestingly, I've heard from people, or just I've seen people writing on Twitter, basically. I've seen people who are like Seed fans who just thought it was okay. I've seen people who are Seed fans and loved it. I've seen people who said like, I'm not a Seed fan, but I really enjoyed the movie. And so kind of heard the entire range of possible responses to the movie, I feel like I've heard at this point. So really just kind of, I guess, is just one of those things that some people are going to like and some people not quite as much. I guess that part is just going to be on here just kind of floating freely. It doesn't seem like there's any way for that to push any tighter onto there. Okay. There we go. There's our leg. So you can see, like, proportionally, hang on. Proportionally, it's got some long legs there and a small head, but there you have it. Has Adam watched it? What does he think? No, Dewey, he has not. Not that I know of. And I think I would know. And no, he hasn't. Seed freedom was quintessential seed, like a condensed and distilled seed experience. All right, that makes sense. I absolutely understand what you mean by that. Hang on. Kind of has all of the, oh, what's the word? That seed has a lot of, it's not like, what's the word? English is really hard sometimes, I'll tell you guys. I have a lot of respect for non-native English speakers. As a native English speaker, it's still hard to think of the word that I'm trying to think of sometimes. But yeah, in the movie, where is this piece though, for real? Okay, hang on. I gotta find this. There's a piece which is hiding somewhere. And I hope I haven't misplaced it. I don't know. That's odd. Am I just not seeing it somewhere? Oh, there it is. Ah, found it. Plot armor, cheesy schlock. No, not that. It's just more so that it's seed is kind of very, what's the word when it's kind of like very preachy, sort of like idealistic. Like, we have to save the world for all the people. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Something like that. It's got that. That's a very, when I think of like seed, that's what I think of. Wait a minute. Okay. That, and of course, like the battle, like the action scenes are kind of, they have like a certain style to them as well too. Her seed is very anti-war to the point of making sure nobody dies. Interesting. What was it that someone was saying? I'd seen some article or something on Twitter. Someone had posted about how some Gundam series was like, had a very pro-war undertone to it. I can't think of which one it was. I don't think it was about the Seed Freedom movie. I think it was about, I think it was about like Turn A or something like that, strangely enough. You guys, did you see that? You know what I'm talking about? Because I remember thinking like, what? Because it was a series that I really like. And I didn't quite get it. And to be fair, I didn't read the article at all. I just saw the headline, so I just kind of saw it in passing, and I just remember thinking, like, what? All right. Here we've got our legs done. Plenty of interesting takes these days. Oh, yeah. Especially on Twitter. Like, I've seen, there's one guy in particular. I can't think of the guy's name. He's like a writer for Kotaku or something like that, or something. It's a writer. And I think it's just because he writes Gundam stuff about different Gundam series and stuff sometimes. So I see his articles like come up or being shared on Twitter or whatever. And the guy's just a real bonehead. I don't know. And it seems like a lot of people also have that thought as well. Like, because I just see a lot of times in the comments, people just like, dude, what are you talking about? Can't think of the guy's name. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, though, if you've seen like Gundam related articles on Twitter. The guy's got some interesting takes. It is kind of disappointing. One thing I'll say about the color separation on this kit. I said there's a lot of parts, a lot of nice color separation on here, but there's one spot where it's unfortunately not as good. It's like right here on the shoulder. So if you look, like here in the chest, we have this separate silver piece for right there and here, and then here on the side, this like silver detail there and silver detail here on the legs as well. Well, if you look at the design, she's supposed to have that silver detail on the shoulder here as well, but on the part, it doesn't have that. So you have the silver on the top and like that kind of edge right there, but not for like the edge all the way around the part. So yeah, obviously the color separation is never going to be perfect, but that was one thing, like, I wish that was Ollie Barter. Yes, Chris Jones. I think that's right. That name sounds familiar, so I think you're right on that. Chris said over there on Twitch, or no, sorry, on YouTube. It's a comment though on Twitch, so let me read this. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. Sorry, just spam. Just saying Kotaku alone says enough about how boneheaded it might be. Yeah, I think it's Kotaku. So yeah, it's Ali. Ali, I think is right. The person I'm talking about is, so does he work for Kotaku or not? I don't know. And like, no hate, but yeah, I've just like, speaking of Gundam related articles on Twitter, he's like the one that comes to mind because I feel like almost every time I see something that he's written, I'm just like scratching my head thinking like, is this serious or what? Christian said, I kind of like this kit that you're building. Oh, good. Thank you. It's a pretty cool one. Pretty cool design, I'll say. Worth checking out. I'm just thinking about what might be an interesting way to color this, to recolor it. I'm not too sure yet. Uh-oh. What? There's this clear part that goes on the side. I don't know. Side of the wrist. There's apparently a top and bottom, but it looks exactly the same. I can't tell at all which side is supposed to be the top, which side is supposed to be the bottom. Okay. It's at a slight angle is what it is. You could have made that in a way that's a little bit easier to tell which side is supposed to be. Oh, maybe it wasn't at an angle. Maybe I just wasn't putting it on there all the way properly yet. I don't know. All right. Let's go with open hand for this side for the moment. Or closed fist seems like a better fit. And okay, interesting. So the arm plugs in like the normal spot, but the shoulder armor actually plugs into the collar. That's different. Interesting. I like it though. It's kind of cool. If you were a Mega Man villain, which villain would you be, Chris? Chris, I'm only I don't even know if I could name any Mega Man villains other than the only one that I'm familiar with, and that's only just because of Horse the Band's famous song about Kutzman. So I guess I'll have to go with that. But yeah, it's the only one that I could name. Sorry to say. I broke the MG Shinanju bazooka handle today. Oof. That's a shame. Depending on how badly you broke the handle, and I mean, I don't know how difficult or easy that might be to fix. May not be too bad. A handle is always difficult though, because that's a part that usually needs to be, usually need a good amount of stability, because that's what's like the connection between the part, the accessory and the mobile suit, right? Are you drilling the holes on that part? No, I didn't drill anything on this thus far, and I don't expect to, but yeah. He writes for Forbes. Oh yeah, okay. Chris said he writes for Forbes, and yeah, he has that vibe about it. Oh. Are these people even watching the same shows that I am? Yeah. This kit would look good with Saint Seiya gold color scheme. I actually was thinking about gold. I had that thought. Not in relation to Saint Seiya, because that's not something that I'm really into, but I did have the thought that it might look kind of cool in gold, yes. Gold or like silver, sort of like, what's that? Star Wars silver clone trooper, Phasma. What is it? Captain Phasma, right? Something like that might kind of look kind of cool. But I don't know. Then also just because it has a little bit sort of cyberpunk sort of feel to it as well, a kind of more like bright and colorful kind of color scheme, I thought might look kind of cool. So I was gonna look at some cyberpunk examples to maybe get some different ideas. Quite long arms too. I mean, just like proportionally, the head seems like very small in proportion to the rest of the body. And I don't think there's nothing in the manual about being able to swap the heads, like with a lot of Kotobukiya kits, and like with the Megami device and Frame Arms Girl in particular, and Sosai Shoujo Teien now. Those kits, like the heads are all interchangeable, and even they show you in the back of the manual like the different like neck ball joint parts that you can use. Which, on a side note, I don't know why Kotobukiya didn't just choose one ball joint size to use for the head attachments and just use that for all the lines, and they wouldn't have to include those parts every single time. But that's a different issue. Anyway, I don't know if those heads would be very compatible with this kit, judging by the judging by this ball joint size. It definitely looks, what I can think of offhand, it definitely looks smaller than other kits. Let's see, because I have this, damn it, I have this Sosai Shoujo Teian kit here. It's next kind of hard to get out of there. There we go. Oh no, well, yeah, it's definitely a different size ball joint. This one's small. Anyway, the trouble is that, like, because it has this big like cowl that goes around like the back of the neck, that would be the thing that's kind of in the way. For this head in particular, it's got these hair parts that are just kind of in the way, but you can kind of get the idea sort of how that might look on there, which I think it looks kind of good if you can get it to work. But okay, we just have her weaponry left to put together. Let's go ahead and do that here. I saw your question there, Chris. Hang on just a second. Glasses, Zach. Yes, whipped out my glassless glasses. Oh, broke the C connection for the handle. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit tricky. But what you could do is just glue it in place, and you wouldn't have the articulation. But I mean, just figure out which position you want it to be in, and just glue it there, and it's just stuck there. But at least it's in. Chris, who is in charge of email blasts? That'd be Adam. Absolutely, it's not me. Why? What's up with the email blasts? Is it too many or something, or was there like a mistake in the email or something? Yeah, you can just send a message to Adam directly if there's like a mistake in the email or something like that, or send a message to me. I'll probably, if you send a message, sometimes Adam checks his phone messages quicker than other times, but if you send it to me, I'll probably see it right away. Like right now. Oh, what's this? What is it? You sent me a link to a kit. What am I supposed to make of this, Chris? It's a sold out kit. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. I gotcha. Not all of the images for the kit itself, but for the image in the description. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, okay. Sorry guys for the distraction here. Yeah, I saw it. I'll think of something one day. Don't really display it with the Zuka. Oh, yeah, if you're not really going to display the Zuka, you don't really need to worry too much about fixing the handle, I suppose, right? But yeah, it wouldn't be too bad of a fix, I think. So I don't think you're too bad off with that one. Oh. I don't know why I didn't cut out these parts. Where? Okay. So a couple of parts here. I don't know why I didn't cut those out. I think I just like looked at this and just assumed it's polycaps, which it's like somewhat softer. It's ABS, no, so it's not your typical polycaps. All right. Late to the party. Hello, David. Yes. Yeah, you're late to the party, but you missed most of the Gale Hound, most of the Strato Hound. Sorry, now I'm getting them confused. But we still have the roll kit that we're going to build up next after this, so just hang tight. You can check out that. Just finishing up her weaponry here. Just nothing like really too complex. It's a kind of really straightforward set, but kind of interesting. I'm anxious to see what this is going to look like once it's all put together, just because I feel like either I haven't looked closely enough at the manual, or it's kind of hard to get a good sense of what the weapon's like just from the manual. It's kind of like this weird, like folding sword, spear, lance kind of sort of weapon. And so let's see, has this very nice looking clear black part here. And this part, which is like a handle part on this, which extends, but it doesn't, when you extend it out, it doesn't lock into place, which is unfortunate. So how does this go? Like that. And then I guess you can just push that down, but I guess when it's going to be actually held in the hand, you'll just be holding on to it here. And so these are kind of going in opposite directions. Can you not turn that? Oh yeah, you can turn it and make them go the same way. Or you can fold it. Let's see, hang on, how is this supposed to be? You can fold this like that, sort of. Anyway, yeah, so it's an interesting weapon. You can just kind of fold it like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's unique. Okay. And then we've got her handguns here, as well as a couple of things. Handguns and then shields. The handguns basically just two pieces together there. And then one piece there for the end of the barrel. There and there. That's it. You just got two of those. And these fit together with a piece here. Let's see. This like holster piece that you have for those. And the shield. These clear parts, though. Excited for more build days coming up in the new warehouse once it gets finished and the dust settles. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. They were getting kind of close, but like last few days, last couple of weeks, it seems like there hasn't really been much going on over there. So seems the work has kind of stalled again for the moment. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, it's coming along, I guess. I think that there's still stuff that they need to finish on the inside, because the outside's pretty much done on the new warehouse, as much as I can tell. Like they were working on the like road and parking lot, which still need a little bit done, like for those parts. I feel like that's not. Yeah, it's not pushed on all the way. Okay, hang on. I think there we go. There we go. Can really get that clear part fit in there, and didn't want to push it too much because I'm worried about cracking this clear part, but I think it's okay. All right. And then a couple of little connection pieces here for that, and we're good to go. So here's the clear shield that we have for the one side. And then, yeah, the handguns can be stored here on these holster parts. And this is for attaching the weapon onto the back, like this here. You can use this piece there for that. Attach that onto there. Well, let's see. There we go. And the handguns can be attached onto the side of the hips here. The shield can't really necessarily attach onto anywhere, I don't think. Can it? Not particularly. It's onto the arm there, basically. Hoi. If you're not gonna have that in the hand, though, it's gonna be kind of awkward. Anyway, cool kit. Let's see. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. Very interesting. I have the shield on here like totally wrong, but use your imaginations anyway. But there you go. Very cool. I'm just going to take that off. It's kind of goofy. If I can get that off of here easily enough. That, and we'll just go ahead and take the backpack off as well. And aside from all that cool stuff, there's something else that you have cool with this. Okay, one more thing to show you. That you have some very nice water slide decals included here as well. So that's kind of cool. All right, anyway, so there's the Strato Hound. Let's go ahead and move on to roll after taking a look at the chat here for a moment. Maybe you've already said, but what do you think of the new old RX-78 kit that's Bandai has announced? Chris, I think it looks really cool. So what Chris is talking about, if you guys missed it, Bandai announced a kit, which is like it's a new kit, but the kit when it's built looks like an old like 80s style kit, like really kind of funky proportions and very derpy looking. But the construction is like a modern construction, but it builds like a kit that looks like an old kit. So it's really interesting. I think it's a cool idea. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be like a series of kits that we can expect to see a lot of, and probably won't stick around for too long a time. But I think there'll be a couple of, they'll probably make more than just the Gundam. I would hope so. It's part of like the 45th anniversary. Hopefully they'll at least do like Char's Zaku or something as well. Would be nice. Yeah, it looks like it's build similar to like an entry grade, yes. All right. Roll is up next, and it'll be an interesting comparison with the two of these kits like side by side. Very different kind of appearance to them. It's got the little container here because the kit's not going to be very big. Like I was saying before, I get the sense that it's probably going to be similar in size to like a Megami device. Yeah, slightly different, like proportionally, because Roll has a very sort of like and Megaman too have a bit more kind of like childlike proportions, I guess. That's a good way to put it. And with this one as well, there's some really, really nice part separation, as you guys will see here in a moment. Let me go ahead and get started here. If Gunpla Battle was a real Gunpla what Gunpla would you use? Gunpla or Gundam? I mean, I guess it's kind of the same. What I might use for a real Gundam and what I might use for Gunpla. I don't know, but maybe the Rosenzulu. Yeah, you guys know I love that one, and I think it might be good because, as I've talked about before, it has a really good mix of close range and ranged weaponry with the claws and the beam emitters and everything. So I feel like it's a good mix. That retro RX-78 is going to be customized into RG by someone. Yeah, it could be. I really want to try one of those mega-sized kits one day. Yeah, I'm hoping that at some point Bandai will reissue the mega-size age kits. The age 1 is the one that I really want. The age 2, not really quite as much. But it would just be cool if they would just reissue those. And I'm sure they will at some point. It's just a matter of time. Which face should we go with here? We've got 4 different options for the time being. Here we go. A, B, C, or D. What do you guys think? Really want to try one of those Mega Man kits. Yeah, I have been wanting to as well. Like I said, I'm not really into the series. I didn't like really play it a lot, so I have never built one. Sorry, the camera is shaking so much. But yeah, I wanted to try one out. So here we are. And it was fortunate that I didn't have to make the choice. That Kotobukiya made the choice for me because, like I said, they sent this for me to review because it's a new release. So I was just going to just go ahead and just build like one of the previously released Mega Man kits or something just to try it out. But considering this just came out, it all worked out in the end. D, you guys say to go with the winking face. Okay. Is that the one that's on the box art? Was it? No, it's not, but okay. A lot of times what I like to go with is just kind of whatever is closest to the face that's on the box. But you guys can have your way, and we'll go with the winking face for now. I'm sorry, I'll zoom the camera back out here. There you go. HGUC Dreisen review reissue? Never. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those that hasn't had a reissue for quite some time, has it? As far as I can remember. It's possible that it has, and I just don't recall, but I don't remember that one being reissued recently. Haven't seen it around for a while. All right, and then her kind of hair, as it were, here, complete with the little ribbon on it. There you go. Very nice so far. I mean, the color separation is really amazing. It's really good. Looks very nice so far. right. The D-face parts remind me of her face in Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh, okay, interesting. I know of that game. It's not a game that I've ever really played too much. I'm not really into fighting games, but I know of the game. Did not know that role was in the game, but now I know. Thank you. All right. Yeah, it's definitely going to be very small here in the torso section. Neck. Gonna have to get some of the Mega Man kits at some point. I loved the Battle Network series when I was younger. So yeah, I didn't miss. I missed if someone answered this question earlier, but Battle Network is a game, right? Is there a manga or is there a anime series as well? I didn't know of any of. Well, I guess I did. There was like an old Mega Man anime, wasn't there? But I don't know. Is there a like more recent Battle Network anime as well, or is just the game you guys are talking about? I don't know for sure. I'm not aware of it. There we go. More really nice color separation you guys are going to see here for the chest. So if you look here for the chest piece, we've got that yellow part and then this red part that goes in there, and then this tiny little orange piece that goes in there like that. Beautiful. And the head. There you go. Nice. It's back in 2008-ish, Battle Network anime. Okay, so it was an anime. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I think I knew like vaguely that there was an anime, but I figured it was like something like from like the late 90s or something, and mostly Mega Man was just kind of just the game as far as I knew, but okay. NT Warrior was 2002, early 2000s. Is that also something Mega Man related? There is this. I shouldn't have put the head on quite yet. Kind of jumped the gun a little bit. There's a part I need to attach onto the back side of the body. That now it's going to be a little bit in the way. Let's see. Here we go. Right there, like that. Go in there. Come on. Okay. It's kind of a tricky fit there. Whew. Had me sweating for a minute. Okay. These parts are very slightly different, I guess. That's weird. That's really weird. It seems like there's like some like oil or something in this part, like where the hips go, and it seems like I could imagine like maybe you might want to put some kind of oil or grease in there in the parts just to make sure that like those parts slide well. It kind of feels like the part's like greased which is weird. There's a little note here in the manual. I'm wondering if it says like something about that. I'm gonna translate that here real quick because that's very odd. Never seen anything where the part like that comes greased. Let's see what that translates to there. I think it just says like put the parts in carefully. I could not be reading that properly. No, yeah, it just says be careful where you cut. But like, I swear it seems like there's something in that part that seems like it's like the hip like the sliding part for the hip joint's already greased, which is weird. Yeah, I've definitely I don't know, maybe I'm just like I'm just seeing things, but it definitely seems like that, which is weird. I don't even know how that would work, like from the production standpoint. I don't know. Interesting. What's the weakest point on the Titanomachia series till now, if there is any? Martin, the weakest point, I don't know. I remember thinking on the Gale Hound and on this one as well, like there was a couple of spots where there's seam lines where it feels like there didn't really need to be seam lines there, that it could have been done in a way to avoid having seam lines. And I feel like being designed by Naoki, that's I'm sure something he would have thought of. I'm not sure how much of a part he played in the actual designing of the kit, apart from like the character design. But yeah, I'm not sure. I would imagine he played a pretty good part in the actual model kit design as well. It's another example of some amazing color separation here with this kit. If you look here, this is the elbow joint, and we're going to squish that little yellow part in between these red parts so that when we're making our elbow joint here, I'm going to put that part right there like that, and then this one and this one. Hang on. Oh, it would help if I didn't have that upside down. So that little yellow piece there in the elbow joint, and then when we add these parts here on the side, it gives the appearance of that yellow ring that goes all the way around the forearm right there. But the one little part is actually a part of the elbow joint there. So that's pretty cool. Very ingenious the way that that's designed to look like pretty much seamless there. But you're still able to get like a normal bend there in the arm. Pretty cool. Hats off to you, Kotobukiya. Of course, we've got a number of different hand options. Interestingly, though, no hand option for holding anything. I don't think that, I mean, like a kind of makes sense. She wouldn't need that. Even though I'm fairly a noob when it comes to Mega Man, I think it's one thing I can assume is that they don't like hold stuff. There wouldn't be any reason to need a hand for holding any accessories, but it still would have been cool, I guess. how would you remove seam lines on that piece, like on this piece here on the seam on the back? It would be a challenge. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you wanted to remove this seam line right there, probably the easiest thing would just be to just remove that seam line while it's attached on here, and then when you paint it, you're just gonna have to just mask it. It would be a pretty easy part to mask. You just paint the yellow part, or probably well, yeah, either way. But masking that would probably just be the best bet. Good question though. Yeah, it's not a kit that I'm planning on painting at least anytime soon, so I hadn't really thought too much about that. But yeah, certainly not too out of the norm for kits like this to have plenty of seam lines, especially on the arms and legs. So it's just kind of the way it goes. But Bandai has been doing really good in improving their designs to not have seams on the arms and leg parts, but just have like the parts for the arms and legs to be single pieces so that they don't have seams on them. For like the skin tone parts of the arms and legs anyway. Especially in the 30 Minute Sisters line. So... okay. Hoi. For this hand, I'm going to go with the... I'm not sure what you would call it. Hang on. If I can get this on here, I'll let you guys see the hand option part that I'm talking about. Kind of tricky. There we go. Sort of like a half saluting sort of hand. Like that. Kind of makes sense, right? Saluting, right? Okay. Legs. And then we don't really have much as far as like accessories for it. There's a couple little things. Not a whole lot. Okay. Have you picked up the Armored Core re-release kits? The Gen 4 have been reissued and get all the extra parts. No, I haven't. But on the note of older Kotobukiya Armored Core kits, I do have a couple of like really old Armored Core Koto kits that someone sent me to review and share with you guys. I haven't done that yet, so I apologize for that. I need to do that. But that's the only kind of like older Koto Armored Core thing that I have like on the agenda. It's just that, really. Nothing else at the moment. Let's see. It's like that. And okay. A lot of really quite small parts with this kit though, so if you have an aversion to small pieces, you might have some trouble. I'm getting by, but I can't say it's not tough with my big fingers. Uh-oh. All right. Then the leg is going to have a similar color separation like with the arms for like the yellow piece here, as we'll see in just a second. Yeah, quite interesting assembly here for this one. It's like familiar, but a little bit different from just kind of your standard Kotobukiya, like frame arms girl or whatever kit. So there's that. And this one, wait a minute. So this time, these yellow pieces here, let me go ahead and zoom in again just so you guys can kind of see. So here around the lower part of the leg, got these couple of pieces. See, I don't think there's any particular order to put these on. Hang on. I think that's the wrong side. That seems like a better fit. There's a couple of yellow pieces that fit around like the back quarter of the leg like that, and then one which fits onto here. Again, kind of similar to like the elbow joint. It fits onto the back of the knee joint there, and when you bend the knee, it tucks down in to the calf. That's pretty cool. And then at the front, here we've got this red piece, which will go in there. And then, okay, this does have a particular up and down side, and then just this one that goes here on the front. So with this one, you'll have, in terms of seam lines, you'll have a seam line on both sides, on the left side and the right side of the leg. The whole front half is all one piece, and then we have like a back quarter piece, and then like one little back piece there. But yeah, looks really good. But if you are going to be interested in removing the seam lines, it is going to be a little bit of a chore, it seems like. Okay, then we've got, and the feet here as well. Also, the color separation on here on the feet, it's really nice. Having the pink and red, and then like that brown color underneath, and then we have this little red dot for the bottom of the feet there as well. It's pretty cool. And ankle part here. And there you go. All right. There we go. Very nice. Okay. I wonder how would Roll and Megaman would look if they were to be redesigned as adults. Yeah, kind of interesting. Could you imagine like a Netflix series or something with them redesigned as adults? The vibrant color kind of hide the seam. Yeah, absolutely. So there's two things that work to this kit's advantage, which are kind of the norm with Kotobukiya kits. Number one, with a lot of Kotobukiya kits like this in particular, like the style kits, like the Mech-Musume kind of style kits, a lot of times the parts fit so tightly anyway that like the seam, even on like dark colored parts, the seam is really hard to see because the part fit is so tight and the fit is so good that you can barely see any kind of line there. So that's good. The other thing is that, yeah, because they're a really bright color, it also kind of makes it harder to see. So yeah, there's definitely a couple of things that would work to your advantage. I mean, if you're planning on repainting the kit, and especially if you're going to repaint it in like some other different color or something, then it may be something that you want to address. But if you're not planning on painting, you're just gonna kind of keep it as is, then yeah, it's not really something you need to worry too much about, I wouldn't think. It's little, tiny little parts that are kind of difficult to press together. All right. Hui. And here. Netflix would have to do a lot of convincing if they were to do that. Yeah. I wish Koda would continue their Metabot line, even if they mostly do KBT and KWG. I don't know what that means, but we got many that need figures, Plamo. Yeah, that's another series of plastic model kits that I've not ever built any of them, the Metabot ones. Although, like, similar to this, they look nice, so I'm sure they're fun. Just never built one. Oh no! Definitely just put that on backwards. That's not going to work. Hang on. Ugh. That's better. And also, let's see. It's also not quite in there all the way, is it? Why is that? Hang on. What's going on with this? I think I have a part not in quite exactly right. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong here. This is something that, like, there's many things that I will both praise and question Kotobuki on, and this is one of the things that parts that really could be symmetrical, sometimes for some reason are very ever so slightly asymmetrical, so that if you accidentally put the part on the wrong way, it won't fit, like in this particular instance. And like, there's not really any reason why this part needs to be like that. But okay. Sure, why not? It all works for the benefit of that very precise, like I was saying, like really tight fit. You need that really tight, very precise design. And that means that you're going to have parts that are almost symmetrical, but just barely, not quite. That's a wrap on the legs. And then, yeah, her only like real accessory is her kind of like, here you go. Let me get the angle of that right. Here you go. How's that pose? Like a real professional. Her weapon, just like this, yeah, heart crossbow kind of thing. And then we have the base as well. Hey Zach, sorry I'm late. Didn't know that there was a live build. That's all right. No worries. We're almost done, though, I will say. Almost done for today. Just waiting to hear back from you guys. What is this weapon called? Or if it's a weapon at all. What is this thing called that she's got, which will replace her arm? So like, I guess, like Megaman himself. The arm, sort of like Samus Metroid style arm transform. Well, I guess Metroid, her arm doesn't transform, does it? It's just got the cannon attached onto there. And for Mega Man too, on that note, I don't know, does his arm transform or is it just attached on it? It's just kind of like a part of the arm, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway. Got some definite seam on this part here as well. And again, this piece, here's a perfect example. Look at this piece. Okay. You have this red piece, which goes on the front of here. Is there any reason for this to have this little tab there? I mean, like, if I put it this way, or if I were to put it on upside down, and there would be no difference to that part, and you already have these like cutout sections, so it's not like it's going to be turned 90 degrees. There's no reason to make that so that it goes on the wrong way. I don't know. All right. The roll buster, it's called the roll arrow, a roll buster. Okay. Interesting. That plugs onto there like that. And you can have that replace her arm, her forearm. Yes, that's our only like real accessory that we have here with the kit, or I guess not accessory, but weapon, I guess. As for the base, the connection base is interesting. Because it uses the same base plate as like a Megami device or a frame arms girl, and the same like design, but there's not actually a hard point on the back of the kit itself, on the back of the character. I guess if you removed that piece right there, no, that's not. So there's no hard point on the back of the kit itself. So you have to just use the base. You have to use this clasp attachment here at the top to hold up the kit, which is interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't just put a hard point right here on the back side of the kit to be able to plug into there like a normal Megami device or whatever. But okay. Anyway, there's our kit. What do you guys think of Roll-san? Roll-chan, I guess would be more appropriate. You ever seen the old American Mega Man cartoon? That's how Mega Man and Roll would look like as adults. Yeah, that's what I had in mind when I'm thinking of a, because I've never seen that, I don't think, but like I've seen images of it or whatever. I'm like vaguely familiar with the old like Mega Man cartoon, which was an American thing, right? What would you recommend for doing top coat when you live in a state with high humidity? Well, assuming that you have air conditioning inside, the humidity inside the house with the air conditioning on would be low, but that means you have to spray inside, which then you have to worry about the fumes. What I would do is work in a room inside your house with air conditioning so that the humidity will be low, wear a mask with the fumes, and like obviously spray somewhere where you're not going to be worried about getting the spray on other stuff. And like maybe just open the window like right before you spray, and then like let the breeze kind of, or even use a fan and blow the fumes out, and then just like leave the window open for a few minutes to kind of let it kind of flow out for a little bit, and then just close the window again just to keep the humidity low. And that would also allow, you know, kind of most of the fumes out. And again, I would just still wear a mask anyways, so you're not breathing too much of that. But yeah, that'd probably be the best thing to do. For Mega Man, it is kind of implied his Mega Buster arm has a hand that transforms for shooting. Okay. Interesting. Us Floridians with constant high humidity. Yeah, but so far I haven't really run into too much issues with that, fortunately. You know, knock on wood. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the stream here for today, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out, checking out these two awesome new kits from Kotobukiya. Again, thank you to Kotobukiya for sending these out. Both very cool. I will build the Gojulas later on. I don't know if I'm going to even attempt to do a live build of the Gojulas. The problem with that is that, number one, it's just got a ton of parts, and like it's probably like, I don't know, the Iron Kong took forever, and this is even bigger than that. The it's probably like 6 hours live stream just to build the Gojulas. The other problem is that I just wouldn't have any way to keep all the parts organized. Like, I have my organizer boxes, but for the Iron Kong, I used 2 of these. I only, well, no, I do have a third one. I do have 3 of the larger size ones, so I guess like I could try it, but I don't know. I'll see. Once I unbox the kit and like get a better sense of just kind of exactly all what's in there, then I'll have a better idea of if it's something that I want to attempt to live stream or not. But yeah, I'll work on it anyway. Do it in segment live streams. Yes, that's another option. Yeah, Lemon, that's definitely another option. We could do like we could do it over the course of like 3 live streams or something. I think that probably would be a good way to go about it. But we'll see. Anyway, it's a kit it's gonna take a while. I know that much. It's gonna take a while. It's been a while since I've built anything quite that big. Some dude at my local Gunpla club had a Gojulus the Ogre. It was like 2B. Yeah, that one's even bigger. This one's not quite as big. It doesn't have the huge, massive cannons on the back, which you can get separately. But this is just like the original version, which doesn't have quite as lot. So the box is not quite as big. It's still very big. And it's the just new Marking Plus version. So there you go. All right. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. The next live stream will be the Narrative Gundam Master Grade, probably on Tuesday. Would be my guess on that one. So I'll see you guys then. Later. Have a nice weekend. Bye.